Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game. Doing the Path of Carcosa for our third time, I believe. Playing as Diana and Marie. I had to go and look up what our previous run of this was with, and it was with Agnes and Patrice, which was a hell of a time. Um, Obviously, Agnes was very good on the conviction route because you can just say the name over and over again, and do some free horror, or not free horror damage, but do horror damage to herself to hit other people. Anyway, so we got ourselves. What are we doing this time? We're doing the Last King, which is the one where you have to go and like parlay with everybody. Uh, like before, I am going to shuffle this deck before I hit setup because I feel like it doesn't actually shuffle. So we'll make sure it does what it's supposed to do. We'll shuffle the encounter deck right now. And we got Fashionably Late, Agenda 1A. As you pull up to the manor, you notice that something is wrong. A trail of blood leads up the porch steps, and the front door is smashed. Muted music comes from within the house. Its warped and discordant notes painful to your ears. Has the madness of the King of Yellow already made its way here? 3 doomed to advance, and then it's all downhill from there. Act 1A, Discovering the Truth. This isn't a party, it's a madhouse, but for some reason the guests are too deluded to notice. Very few of them are sane, and many are themselves horrors to your eye. Perhaps you can talk to them more about the King in Yellow. When an investigator is eliminated by defeat or resignation, place each of that investigator's clues on this act instead of placing them at his or her location, and you're just trying to get as many clues as possible. We also want to try to interview, is it interview? Yeah, interview as many of the VIPs as possible because it will help us in the future. The big thing for the doubt route is usually for conviction, you don't really have to worry too much. You can kind of just burn everything to the ground and not have to worry about these guys. But for the doubt run, you actually you can't burn the entire place down to the ground, unfortunately. You can still kill them as they transform, but we'll see if we'll be able to even do that. In any case, give me one moment. All right, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this and then hit setup. And then I'm going to go down here and do our stuff here. Also, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this encounter deck one more time. So big thing that's going to really hurt us is the Ancient Evils. We do have means to try to resist them, but we'll see. All right, shuffling and drawing. Living Ink. I don't really want any of those. Yeah, honestly, I don't want any of these. Okay, that's much better. I was kind of worried about getting our weakness, but this is really decent. Because you can get really swarmed by enemies in this one if you're not careful. Yeah, we got the level 2s of both the B-Cop and the Survival Knife. We do still have one level 0 of both of those, so getting the level 2s of both is a really strong start. Also, I didn't really talk about the symbols. Skulls reveal another token, and if you fail, you place a doom on a lunatic. And then we actually have Cultist this time around, which is just -2, and if you fail, you place one of your clues on a location. So not too bad as long as you are aware of the -2, because obviously placing clues is going to set us back a bit. All right, Marie, deal an orange. And for some reason, this thing keeps resetting the hands, and I don't know why. All right. All right, Alyssa Graham's good. Everything else, this is good. So the big thing here is we want to be able to actually like pass these tests if we can. I mean, the only one that's, yeah, we have the highest book is 3, I think. Yeah, highest book is 3. So if we get Alyssa Graham out, everything else kind of falls into place. So we can get rid of the Perception and the Enraptured and the other Alyssa Graham. And I think we'll hold off. We'll go ahead and tag out that as well. Deal to orange. All right. Okay. St. Hubert's Key is a good find. All right. Knowledge as power is unfortunately not going to be super useful until these guys start transforming. None of the clues will be on locations except for the foyer. And if they're getting placed in their locations, that means I didn't actually successfully interview them, which is its own problem. All right, shuffling all that. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and flip this over. Yeah, so we got 2 clues here. I'm gonna grab these on the way out. And I believe there's 17 clues in total. Let's see, 3, 6. Yeah, there's 17 clues, which means there's actually we only need 16. The 17th one is completely worthless as far as what we're trying to do. And there's no victory point locations. It's all based off the amount of clues we get, and of course everything else is just extra. So with that in mind, where is everybody at? Okay, so yours is you have to have 6 or more cards in your hand to do a Parlay 2 test. You need to be... This one's just a Will 3 test by itself. That's not bad. Up here is a double action, and then up here is a book 3. And then here you need resources, a lot of them. All right, so probably want to go to the gallery as quickly as possible, but if I recall, the gallery has a will check, which means that it's actually the worst place. I was going to send Diana to deal with that one. That's not in the cards anymore. We can try getting as many resources as possible, or we can try going for Constance. So we have some options, not great ones. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and start with Marie. So I'm just going to start things off by spending 4 to get out my St. Hubert's key. That'll give us +1/+1 and -2 sanity here. We were kind of due for this, so I'm going to go ahead and lock this. Try to get this situated. All right, now from now on I could just adjust it. Okay. Next I'm going to go ahead and move. As much as I would like to get Alyssa Graham out, that's just not happening right now. So we're going to go ahead and move over. Okay. After you perform a parlay action, draw 1 card. Okay, that's completely fine. All right. Last action, I am going to go ahead and parlay. I'm going to go ahead and commit a fearless. So I'm going to be 6-2-3. Okay, we pass. We'll heal 1 horror and get 1 of the clues. All right. Okie dokie. Yeah, it's going to be a little while before we can do anything too fancy. I can try making my way to Constance and just trying to make some checks there, but at the same time, I also kind of want to stay close to Murray because the pain is coming. For this first round, I'm just going to gain a resource and then spend all of it to get Beat Cop and Survival Knife out. That'll get us at least on the board. And unfortunately, we have no wards, so if we get Ancient Evils, which we will, because it's me, we'll be in a little bit of trouble. So no enemies right now. We'll go straight into upkeep. All right, emergency cash. And another fearless. Okay, so we can at least heal up the horror, which is good. All right, first doom. Fine Dining Peril. You must place 1 of your clues on a bystander or take 1 damage, 1 horror and 1 damage. I'll take a damage and then put a horror on Beat Cop. Do I want to do it that way? Or enemy attack. I'm going to go ahead and deny the damage, which will get us a resource and draw a card. Don't want to arouse a suspicion, but you really don't want to eat that. Yeah, I agree. Another Fine Dining. Not much I can do about it either. Yeah, I'll just take the damage and horror. So with this, let me handle this. We can use that to get a. Oh, also, it only works on non-peril cards anyway, so I couldn't use it on Fine Dining. So what I can do, though, is I can use this let me handle this to pull any monsters that spawn on Marie for now. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and continue. Let's start with Marie. So Marie, go ahead and parlay. I'll go ahead and commit a fearless. So 6 to whatever, 6 to 3. I succeed by a bunch. You may add 1 doom or remove 1 doom from a card you control. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to progress anything. So I'll grab the clue here. I will heal a horror again. And I do get to draw a card from the thing here. All right, calling in favors. That's great. I'll go ahead and that's actually a decent combo. I'll go ahead and parlay again. 5 to 3 here. No card draw this time. Okay, we get the last clue. So that's good. We can now place What's Her Face over here if we need to. Okay. He's a visionary, but you wouldn't want to be in his visions. Okay. We have interviewed Sebastian. All right. Better than last year indeed. The best I've ever seen. Yeah, you can tell Sebastian is a dramatic man from the way he speaks about tonight's production. Better than last year, indeed. Yeah, the best I've ever seen. You ask him whether this was the first performance of The King in Yellow he'd helped produce, and he shakes his head in vigorous disagreement. No, of course not. We've done many shows before: Paris, Florence, New York. Why, this isn't even the first time the play has been performed in Arkham. Surprised you ask him further. Well, all right. If you must know, I had nothing to do with the previous show in Arkham. It was several decades ago, before Ward Theater was even built. In fact, part of Mr. Ingram's goal tonight was to bring the story of The King in Yellow to a wider audience. Okay, so we're good on that. Is this a book check? No, it's just the double action. And I'm not going to be able to get the resources. Yeah, I need someone else. I need to get Diana there to deal with all that. But she needs to be the one that deals with the rest of this stuff. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just I'm just gonna move down to here. There's no point in me cutting across right now because I don't have enough resources to do that investigation. All right. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and have Diana go next. So I can go like 2 spaces and then do whatever. This was what? 2 book? Yeah. All right. Not going to be passing that anytime soon. Okay. Yeah, so the plan here is I'm just going to go ahead and move to here. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. And then for last action, I'm going to go ahead and emergency cash to get this to 5. Okay, that is everybody. Let's go ahead and do upkeep. No enemies still. Okay, I got an Enraptured, which isn't going to help us. Mythos, second Doom. Okay, got Roaches. Dance of the Yellow King. If there are no... Okay, there's no lunatic enemies, so this is going to get searched. And Ancient Evils. Okay, so it's going to advance now. Alright. The final guest. If it isn't our final guest, the doorman announces, Miss Devine, your presence here has been long awaited. The woman wears a devilish dress and similar grin. You swear you've seen the symbol on her amulet before? Well, now the real party can begin, she declares, and then heads off to mingle with the other partygoers. Find the bystander asset with the fewest clues on it, and spawn Diane Devine enemy at that location. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Oh, thank you, Ancient Evils. Alright, and again, every 3 Doom is just going to start transforming people. But the good news is, Diane's over here, so we don't need to worry about her. Okay, that is it for that, so we'll go ahead and go straight into this. She is aloof, no need to worry about her. She just prevents people from grabbing clues, but since the return to fixes her issue, but I'm not playing the return to, so I don't need to worry about it. Alright, so this guy hits for 1 damage. Alright. Sorry, I had to check to see if my mic was still working, because my headset cable is been run over many times over the years. Alright, so here's the plan. Can't say it's the best plan, but it is a plan. I'm going to go ahead and move to and let the Roach Swarm attack me. I am going to go ahead and dodge the attack that's coming my way. So I dodge to avoid the attack to get up to here. Alright, this place only has 1 shroud, that's good. But I do have to make a Will 2 test, else I have to place clues down here. So that's why I was a bit concerned about Diana being up here. We managed to get up to 3 willpower, so that's at least something. So that was our first action. Second action will not provoke anything. Oh, actually, it's too late now. I've already reshuffled it. I mean, it was going to get reshuffled anyway. I could have done a Let Me Handle This followed by Dark Insight, but I don't think that's the best option, to be honest, to stop the Ancient Evils. Alright. In any case, yeah, I'm going to use my last 2 actions to go ahead and just parlay and grab a clue here. Parlaying does not provoke, so we're good on that front. Was it at the end of my turn? Yeah, end of my turn, I do need to do this, though, so I'm going to go ahead and commit this Defiance, and I'm going to pick Skull. Okay, we do pass. We're good on that front. Alright. It goes to Marie Lambeau next. I want to go ahead and move over to here and say hi to you. Alright, do I have 6 cards in my hand? I do not. But I can move up to there and start doing that work. Which we will. So yeah, I'll go ahead and move up to here and get to work on this instead. Alright, so this is the one where you can heal horror and all that nonsense. I don't care about that. I'm going to go ahead and parlay 5 to 3. I'm not going to commit anything. We pass, we grab 1 clue. Okay. Enemy phase. I'm going to get attacked by this Roach Swarm. I'm going to use the Survival Knife to try to deal with it. It has 1 fight because the Shroud value of this location is 1. And then this thing's going to give me 6 fight with plus 1 damage. So 6 to 1. Good to go, it's dead. And this happens before it attacks me. Which is why the level 2 version is much better. Okay, upkeep. Another emergency cache. And Raid Seeking. Okay. I'll probably be using the Raid Seeking as I get out of here in the foyer. Alright, Mythos. Oh, right. Yeah, that's everything. We're good to go on that front. This deck has been shuffled, I think, but I'll do it again. We're supposed to get 1 Doom here. No Lunatics. Peril. Willpower 2. If you fail, take 2 horror. Okay. I'll just take the test. 3 to 2. We pass. But, okay. It gets placed next to the agenda deck. Each location gets plus 1 Shroud. Okay. I'm not doing any Shroud nonsense, so I don't care. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and start with Diana. I'm going to go ahead and grab a clue. Oops, sorry. So I'll grab this clue here. And then I'm going to... I have, what, 6 cards in my hand? I'm going to go ahead and just draw a card. Okay, Delayed Inevitable is not bad. I can actually fast this out if I want to. But I'm not going to. All right. At the end of return, I do need to make the test again, so I'm going to go Defiance and pick Skull. We pass. We don't lose any art clues. Okay, so now last act, assuming we don't advance the act, I can get the last clue here and then move, and hopefully be good to go. All right. Meanwhile, with Marie, I'm going to go ahead and deal with the problem here. I'm going to do 2 parlays. We're 5-3. Good. Good. We got the clues here. So Constance has been interviewed. Okay. Let's go ahead and flip this over. It doesn't take long for Ingram's Oath. It doesn't take long for the amiable hostess to open up to you about the play. Oh yes, my husband and I helped Sebastian produce the whole thing. She explains, I was a little hesitant at first, but that director, Mr. Nigel Ingram, my, what a talented man. She laughs. He's so very eccentric. Did you know before rehearsals even began, he had us recite some sort of I suppose it was an oath of sorts, formality, I guess. You know, creative types and their silly rituals. But afterward, we were filled with so much spirit. She smiles, zeal in her eyes. From that moment on, we had no hesitations. The King in Yellow would be the most successful performance in Arkham history. Okay. I have 1 action remaining. I am going to go ahead and move down back to here. So I can do my interviews for this and hopefully be good to go. End of the round, this is going to go away. Let's go ahead and do upkeep while we're at it. Okay, Vicious Blow. And a Living Ink. Okay. Second Doom. Alright. Must either place a clue down or take 1 damage, one horror, 1 damage. I'm okay with this, so we'll just take the damage and the horror this time around. Alright, okay, Pale Man beckons. Search his bearer's deck and pull him out. Okay. This is actually really, really good. Because he's probably going to be, let's see. So the way you do it is the furthest distance amongst all characters type situation. So yeah, everything here is either going to be 1 from both of them or 1 and 2. So I kind of have some flexibility as long as it's the 1 and 2. So I'm gonna put this guy at the beginning, and we'll deal with him on the way out. I think that'll be fair. Okay, that's perfect. That means we're not going to have any transformations until we'll hopefully have everything done except for Jordan Perry at the end. So we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and start with Diana. I'm going to take a little bit of risk here. We're going to grab this last clue with 2 actions with the parlay. And then above and below, Ashley's song is beautiful and haunting, and you find yourself mesmerized by the melody. You don't know why the lyrics call to you, but for some reason you cannot get them out of your head. Above the city, the storm clouds rage, and waves crash through the gilded cage. The skies open the path above to Las Carcosa. Below the earth, the salt water seeps. The shadows fall as the red sun sleeps. The ocean opens the path below to dim Carcosa. So we interviewed Ashley. Okay. And then for my last action, I am going to go ahead and go to the courtyard, which is going to cause us some trouble. So after you enter the courtyard, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If it's an enemy, I have to draw it. It is not an enemy. Okay. We managed to, usually every time I do this, I usually get roaches, which of course would have 5 fight. All right. So at this point, I do have 8 resources. So I am just close. I'm almost close enough to be able to start parlaying here. In the meantime, let's go ahead and have Marie go. We're currently at 5-2 for the willpower check. We do have 7 cards in our hand, so we can do this. Good. 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 Perfect. All right, so we've interviewed everyone except for Jordan Perry. So with my luck, it's probably gonna be Jordan Perry. It usually is how it works. Is the one guy I did not interview is the one guy that transforms first. Now, one thing we can also do if we happen to get everything we need is we can take that opportunity to try to kill some of these guys off so we don't run into them in the future, which would be a nice thing to do. Also, since I did successfully interview here with a parlay action, I can do this once. I'll gain 2 resources, putting us at 7. All right, there's no enemies on the board, so we'll go ahead and go straight to upkeep. Okay, regular peacock. And some archaic glyphs that I don't really have much use for. All right, it will advance. So the way this is going to work... Oh, sorry. Let's just read what this says. Oh yeah, I didn't even read this. The terrifying truth. More and more this place continues to fall into madness, transformed before your very eyes. Actually, I think I did read this. Anyway, when the agenda would advance, remove all doom, and randomly resolve one of the sickening reality cards. So I'm going to go ahead and hit shuffle once and take whatever's on top. Ashley Clark. Ashley Clark is right up there. All right, so I'll go ahead and read this. Encore, encore, the crowd shouts as Ashley finishes her final song of the night. Deciding to stay for one last number, she nods to the pianist. The song that follows is excruciating. Her once beautiful voice is now a wailing screech with unnatural pitch. Her skin has tightened hideously around her bones, and insects begin to eat their way out of her arms, shoulders, crawling over her body. The crowd is loving this final performance. Each investigator at her location would take one horror, and then, of course, move everything and then replace her. So we're not at our location, so we're okay. 254. Songs that Hiede shall sing, where flap the tatters of the king must die unheard in dim Carcosa. Hits for 2 horror. Songs die unheard. So 2 fight, 4 evade, 5 health. Not too bad. Her only thing is, of course, you can't draw cards during the upkeep phase, but that's not a huge issue. All right. And this thing didn't shuffle anything, right? Nope. We just keep going. All right. Let's go ahead and get our encounter card. Tough crowd. I kind of want to prevent that from happening. Let's go ahead and prevent that from happening. I'm going to go ahead and Dark Insight that. This costs what, 2? Yep, costs 2. I'll gain a resource back, draw a card, get one of these, and this just gets shuffled back in, right? Yeah, cancel all effects and shuffle it back to the deck. Okay. And Ooze and Filth. Perfect. Okie dokie. All right. Okay, this is only when you enter it. That's a slight problem. All right. Not much I can do about this either because I need to get resources. Anything that can help with this would be great. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just go with Marie. We'll take whatever comes here. I do have to discard the top card. Okay, it is an enemy. You must either take 1 horror or it gets 3 fight. I'm actually okay with taking the 1 horror. Actually, can we? Is it draw it? And draw it. Okay. Instead of taking the 1 horror there, I am actually going to go ahead and do Let Me Handle This and have the Young Psychopath go to Diana. Is that going to be good enough, though? That doesn't really solve my issue, really, but it is what it is. In her case, I will take the... I I will take the horror. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take the horror. All right. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and yeah. The issue is I can't play anything because I need the resources to make this happen. So yeah, it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just gain a resource, and then I think I'll just draw a card. Actually, I'm not going to even draw a card. I'll just gain another resource. Okay. During Diana's turn, let's go ahead and deal with this nonsense. So Ashley's coming this round. Yeah, I'm probably just going to have to let Marie handle this and have Diana just tank things. I think that's going to be the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and fight 6-2 with the survival knife. Good. 6-2 with the survival knife. Good. Dead. I am going to go ahead and play my emergency cache to gain 3 resources, and then I'm going to fast out a delay the inevitable. Okay, enemy phase. Ashley's going to come and say hello. I'll have her engage Diana and hit for 2 horror. I'm going to use the delay inevitable to cancel all that. And put this face down, gain a resource, draw a card. Oh, actually, I can still draw even as long as it's not during the upkeep phase. Okay, that is fine. Speaking of the upkeep phase, we can't draw cards, so we're just going to gain a resource and go from there. Oh, actually, sorry. For the during the fight with Ashley Clark, I am going to use the survival knife. My apologies. That would have been during the enemy phase. So I'll go ahead and attack Ashley Clark. I'm going to commit a vicious blow to this. So we'll be actually it'll be what 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, actually I'll just leave it alone. We'll go. We'll just do survival knife. So we'll be 6-2. Okay, that is a pass still, so 2 damage here. All right, and then this will get unexhausted during upkeep. Sorry about that. All right. And we're going to need to... we can't play assets. This is an event, so that's fine. Okay. You've gotten your resource. You're good to go. Okay. Goes to Mythos. This gets discarded. Gain a Doom. Tough crowd. I can't do anything to stop it this time around. And another tough crowd. Oh, good. Well, so much for that. And we'll go straight into investigation phase. Yeah, unfortunately, Marie has to spend 3 actions to do anything to parlay with this guy. We'll go 5-2. All right, we do get a clue. That is rough. Then I will go ahead and start fighting Ashley Clark. I'm going to go 6-2. Good. 6-2. Good. Sorry, that was... I have to draw another token. Okay. Still good. And then last one. Good. So she is now gone. We're good on that front. All right. No enemies on the board anymore that are doing anything, rather. We'll go ahead and do upkeep. Twilight Blade would be nice, but I can't play anything right now. And then for you, upkeep. I do need to discard something. I'll discard a Living Ink. Okay. Mythos. These get discarded. And second Doom. Good luck. Nope, no luck for us. All right. Jordan Perry. Nope, Sebastian. Good. Sickening reality. Just Sebastian's passionate debate with another guest turns ugly. His temper transforms not just his demeanor, but his body as well. Thick fur sprouts from his skin, along with several bulbous growths that leak pus and blood. His suit tears as his body distorts, bones snapping and muscles bulging. He is as much beast as he is man. Sebastian is over here. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and move Diane, because it's not going to matter. It's supposed to be on the enemy phase, but otherwise it doesn't really matter. Sorry about that. I'm flipping the wrong things. No one's at Sebastian's location, and yeah, we're good to go. So we got this guy now. All right, this guy is the one that attacks cannot be canceled, which is fine. He hits for 2 and 2, 3, 5, 3. Okay, he is someone that needs to be dealt with. We still need to draw another Mythos card. We get roaches. Okay. I unfortunately need to deal with that somehow. So yeah, biggest issue here is the Sebastian. I don't really have an answer for him right now. And right now, how many Ancient Evils are in here? Just one. Yeah, and there's 2 left in the 9 cards that remain. That's going to be crazy. Okay. All right, Diana, you're going to need to deal with the Roach Swarm. Yeah, I'm going to have you deal with it. I'll commit a Vicious Blow. Good luck. Don't auto-fail game, please. Thank you. Kills the Roach Swarm. Then I'm going to go ahead and just move over to start fighting Sebastian. So the attacks can't be canceled, but the damage can be. So we're at least good on that front. I'm going to go ahead and fight 6 to 3. Okay, that's a damage. I am going to go ahead and also put a damage on Beat Cop to do another damage here. And then I'm spending 2 to go ahead and do Delayed Inevitable. Have that out and ready to go. I could have tried evading, but we're okay for now. Yeah, we're okay for now. Meanwhile, Marie's going to do her thing. We just need to do, what, 2 more parlays? Good. Good to go. All right, we got all the clues. I think this is the first time I've ever interviewed everyone. All right, so all I need to do is get 1 clue from the foyer. We're good to go on that front. Lagno Purdue. Mr. Perry is indifferent to your questions at first, but he grows more talkative as you express interest in his many investments. You learn that he has financed several productions of The King in Yellow in the past, not just tonight's performance. It was the director, Mr. Ingham, who convinced me to invest, he explains. The first time I met him was in Paris at a cafe in Montparnasse. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. What was the name? He ruminates for some time, trying to remember. Anyway, he convinced me that not every investment is about capital gain. One might consider me a fool to believe him, but I don't regret my decision. I've been financing his productions ever since. He smiles and pauses for some time, lost in memory. Lagno Purdue. That was the place. Yes, yes. What a night. All right. We interviewed Jordan. Oh, and I forgot to write down Ishimaru. Oh, also, I didn't actually read this. In speaking with the pattern, in speaking with Miss Ishimaru, you discovered that she designed all the costumes worn in tonight's performance, save for one, that stranger character. Peculiar role, is it not? For whatever reason, Mr. Ingram would not allow me to change his outfit, not one bit. And that mask, she scoffs. Did you know, one time I found that actor? I don't even know his name. I found him drawing a strange pattern behind the backdrop for the second act. You know the one, with the 2 suns? He gave me a terrible stare, and I dare say I jumped right off the stage and ran. You ask what the pattern looked like, and she finds a nearby napkin and begins to draw it. Her recreation is much more detailed than you expected. Rings of concentric semicircles lined with strange runes. And at the center is a pair of wavy lines. You ask what her what it means, and she shrugs. I haven't the slightest clue. So yeah, Haruko has also been interviewed. So yeah, we've interviewed everyone. Yeah, all 5. That's really good. We also have slain. This will tell us to slay. Note these as slain, but I'm going to go ahead and do that as we go. Ashley. Okay. So I've taken care of this. Taken care of Jordan. Last action, I am going to go ahead and move down to here. So I'm ready to get out of here. I am going to go ahead and fast out Acknowledges Power. I'm going to reveal this Rite of Seeking. And I'll go 5 to 2. Yeah, it's only if I do the ability on him that it actually increases the Shroud value. So 5 to 2. We're good to go. I will have to immediately end my turn, but that's fine. So there you go. We've gotten all the clues. This goes in my hand. This goes away. Oh, actually, I can discard it. I can choose to discard it to draw a card, but do I want to draw a card? Sure, we'll go ahead and draw a card. Perception. That'll actually be helpful. All right. So that takes care of all of that. Yeah, that's everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and get attacked by this Sebastian Moreau. I'm going to get hit for 2 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and take the 2 horror, and I'll soak the delayed. I'll use delayed inevitable to soak the damage. So we'll gain a resource, draw a card. At this point, we are, I believe it maxes out at 5, doesn't it? Yep, we can max out at 5. So we have 6 willpower for what it's worth. Okay. Upkeep. That pack. Upkeep. Okay. Mythos. First Doom. Young Psychopath. I'm not going to take the horror. We'll just let her do her thing. So we'll note that she has 5 fight right now. Okay, and then for you, Fine Dining. Place one of your clues on a bystander asset in play, or take 1 horror and 1 damage. I'm actually okay with placing 1 down, because I don't need to worry about it. Because yeah, all these say you just note that. Removing the interview to Haruko. I'll just take it for now. I'll just take the damage. Boop, boop. Might as well. All right. Investigation phase. Let's go ahead and just start with Marie. I'm going to go ahead and spend 4 to get out Ashley Graham. Gain a book for that. I'm then going to go ahead and play a Living Ink. Actually, no, I'm just going to get, what was this at? This will be up to 4, and we're 6. Yeah, we're okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do the ability on the Man of Pallid Mask. I'll commit a Perception. Actually, I don't think I need to. 6 to 4? Yeah, I'm good. So we'll go 6 to 4. And we pass. So what happens, you defeat the Man in the Pallid Mask. Just real quick. I think it just gets discarded. So yeah, it gets discarded, and every time it happens, we do note that we get Chasing the Stranger. Okay. And then for my last action, I am going to go ahead and just, I don't know, play a Living Ink. This will give us +1/+1. For this entire thing, unless we get the Stranger back, I'm going to go ahead and just always choose to not spend the charge. So this +1/+1 buff will only apply during the Mythos. And that's how I'll handle it. Meanwhile, over here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and fight Sebastian. I will commit a... Actually, I'm not going to commit anything. This puts us at, what, 6 to 3? Yeah, I'll be 6 to 3. Good luck. I succeed. You may choose a card from beneath Diana Stanley and add it to your hand. I will do that. I'm going to pick... I want to pick Dodge. Put it in my hand. Okay. So that did a damage. I'm going to go ahead and attack again, 6 to 3. Okay. I am going to go ahead and use Beat Cop to kill off this guy. So now Sebastian's dead. How's this work? Okay, so we get one more advance after everyone's been transformed. More than likely, I'm probably going to leave before that happens. Alright, I do still have to deal with the thing here. I am going to go ahead and just try to Vicious Blow to get rid of her. I mean, it's either that or just let the Survival Knife do the work. But I have too many cards in my hand anyway, so yeah, I'll Vicious Blow. And that kills her. So I was 6 to 5, and that brought me to 7 to 5, so yeah, that was a kill. Okay. House cleaned. So, no enemies to worry about. Just go to upkeep. Okay. Would love to get that out. Dying Existence, even better. Right. It's gonna advance, I'm assuming. After Maniac engaged, use take 1 damage and deal 1 damage. Okay. So, boom, and boom. Alright, and then meanwhile over here, alright, Ancient Evils, it will advance. Okay, Jordan Perry. Seconding reality, Mr. Perry takes another puff of his cigar, and his eyes burn a deep red hue. As he exhales, his skin begins to crack and hardens into stone. Cigar smoke exudes from the fissures in his skin, and the temperature in the room rises dramatically. He clenches his hand around the chair's armrest, which crumbles to ash in his awful grasp. All right. So, Jordan Perry. This one's a rough one. He has 8 health, and he heals. Posing Presence. Want to see our next performance, Savage Hysteria. Opposing Presence. The cigar smoke permeates the room, causing you to cough and wheeze. Only hits for 1 and 1, but that is actually becoming a problem. Alright, investigation phase. Yeah, fortunately, I'm running out of options here. I'm just going to fight this guy twice. 6 to 3. Good. 6 to 3. Good. And then I'll use Beat Cop to finish it off. And then I'm going to spend 4 to get out another Beat Cop. This one's level 0, though. Alright. And this is what, during beginning of enemy phase. Okay. I would really like to get an Enchanted Blade out, but I have had no time. Actually, instead of Beat Cop, I want to get out Enchanted Blade. Which means our fight's going to go down, but that's okay. Alright. Meanwhile, not much for me to do here. I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, place at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's not really an option. Alright, yeah, I'm just going to, I can have her soak the hit. But no, I don't want to do that either. Alright, yeah, I don't really have much I can do right now. I'm just going to go ahead and get some assets out, and then gain some resources. Actually, I'll go ahead and draw 2 cards. Correction. Yeah, I'll draw 2 cards. That is fine. Alright. That is everybody. So it goes to enemy phase. This guy has Hunter. I'll have it go after Diana. I'm going to go ahead and use Survival Knife first. This is going to make us 5-2. Okay, I was bound to get that. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 to do dodge. Gain 1, draw a card, put this in the basement. So that's dealt with that for now. Oh, I could not have done the Enchanted Blade. I couldn't even do the Beat Cop. I actually had to do Devil first. Sorry about that. Okay. That would have changed what I was going to do, but that's okay. Upkeep. Upkeep. Mythos, First Doom. Marked by the Sign. We have 5 cards. Alright, so we're 6-2. Good to go. Maniac. We will take a damage. I'm actually okay with killing off Alyssa Graham right now. And of course you'll take a damage. Okay. I will go ahead and investigation phase. I'm going to start with Marie. I'm going to have Marie evade 3-1. Okay. I'm then going to move up here. I'm going to go ahead and engage the Jordan Perry for this round. And then Diana is going to spend 7 to get out a Beat Cop and an Enchanted Blade. And then I'm going to re-engage Jordan Perry. Okay. So I evaded, moved, and engaged. How do I have an extra card? I think I should have discarded. I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and discard Calling in Favors. Actually, I'll keep Calling in Favors. So I'm going to discard Right of Seeking. Okay. Enemy phase, you'll unexhaust. This guy will attack me. I will use Survival Knife. So I'm back up. That'll be 6-2. Okay, good to go. We'll do 2 damage. And I'll put a damage and horror on Beat Cop. Okay. Yeah, this guy doesn't move. He doesn't have Hunter. Go to Upkeep. Whenever you reveal Chaos Token. Okay. Mythos. Second Doom. Alright. Not anything I can do about that. Constance. So I'm just going to go ahead and move her down ahead of time. Constance laughs as the skin begins to slough off her body. Blood trickles from her shedding skin, leaving a trail of crimson on the carpet where she walks. One might expect her to cease functioning with her ribs and organs exposed, but she barely seems to notice. Okay. So bye-bye, Constance. Hello, Constance. A little too sociable. What's wrong? Aren't you enjoying yourselves? While she's exhausted, she gets +3 fight. She has 4 fight, 1 evade, 6 health. Hits for 2 and 2. Or sorry, hits only for 2 health. Okay, that was your card. This card is Corrosion. Discard item assets from your area, from your play area, or from hand with a total print cost of at least X, where X is the shroud. The shroud is 3. So, and or your hand. It has to be item assets. I only have 1 item, which is the St. Hubert's key, which I'm okay with. Alright. Oh, also I lost the book bonus a while ago. Alright. I'm still getting the bonus from Living Ink. As always, I'm using several depictions, so I'm never spending the stuff for it. Okay. So we're good on the corrosion part. Investigation phase. Let's get to work. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and spend a charge of Enchanted Blade to attack Jordan Perry. This will make us 6 to 2. Good to go. Do it again, 6 to 2. Good, 6 to 2. Okay, that is a dead Jordan Perry. And a completely depleted thing here. Okay. Alright. Not much else I can do about that. Let's go with Marie. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 to get out David Redfield. Not going to worry about buffing him. And then, oh, actually, I was supposed to discard a card. I'll discard a Enraptured. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and gain 2 resources for my last 2 actions. Yeah, for my last 2 actions. Okay. Go ahead and do... So we need to get our other Enchanted Blade. And then hope it's enough. Alright, let's go ahead and go enemy phase. Constance is going to come down here. Upkeep. Upkeep. Okay, don't care about the cracked case. Mythos, first Doom. Corrosion, I do need to discard 3 cost of items, which is fine. I'll discard this Enchanted Blade, because it's useless now. Alright, this is shuffled. We now have a Roach Swarm here. Alright, I'm not particularly that concerned about the Roach Swarm. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Diana first. I'm going to spend 1 to get out Backpack. Search top 12. And see what we can get. These are items. That's an item. That's everything. Okay. I don't know why I shuffled it. I don't need to. I am going to go ahead and spend 3 to get out this Enchanted Blade. And then last action, I am going to go ahead and move down to here to get engaged by you. I will take a damage, and he will take a damage. And this will just, I'm just gonna have this face down here. Okay. All right. Then I'm gonna go ahead and have Marie go. I'm gonna go ahead and try to evade committing 2 calling in favors. So this will take us 5 to 3. Okay, you're now evaded. I'm then gonna go ahead and move down to here. And I'm going to go ahead and just gain a resource. I don't want to risk drawing my weakness at this point. Enemy phase. Constance is going to come down. I'm going to go ahead and have David Redfield take the hit here. And then I'm going to have Diana deal with this, do Survival Knife on the Maniac. So 6 to 3. And he's dead. Okay. Upkeep. Upkeep. Another David Redfield. Alright, Mythos, second Doom. Corrosion again. This location has 2 Shroud. I'm going to get rid of the backpack, which will of course get rid of this, and then I'm going to discard this backpack. That's a total of 2 cost. Okay. Yeah, these are items, so yeah, that's fine. And then for you, Ancient Evils. Not much I can do about that. Would be nice if like either of my characters can, you know, get the last of it, get the you know, Ward of Protections. Second reality, a nearby guest asks Haruko if she designed the dress she is wearing, and she nods and poses for them. As if part of her effort to appear taller, her spine grows and extends upward, separating her torso from the bottom half of her body. Instead of crying out in pain, she smiles at the attention she receives. Okay. So we now have her. Oh, also, Jordan's dead. Yeah. I'm mainly just doing this to save me some heartache in the future. That's all I'm doing. So there is a chance that if I get back-to-back Ancient Evils, I am going to doom out, which is a little scary. Yeah, it was Corrosion and Ancient Evils, yep. Alright, investigation phase. So the question is, can I kill you in one round? And the answer is probably not. Technically, yeah, the only way I can do it and get everyone out in the same round we've used both our Vicious Blows, haven't we? Yep, both Vicious Blows are done. So all I could do, I can kill her. There's no question about that. And Ishimaro is going to cause us problems too. Yeah, that's gonna be a rough one. All right, so I'll tell you what, we're just gonna do this. I'm gonna attack with Enchanted Blade. This is gonna make us 6-4. I don't need to commit anything else. Actually, we can do this another way. There's another way we can do this. We can have Marie go first. Because I can go, what, 5-4? That's still risky. Yeah, we'll just go this route, and I'm just seeing what I could do. With deny existence. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this route. I'm gonna attack with Enchanted Blade 6-4. Okay. Do it again, 6-4. Okay, we do pass. So we've done 4 damage. I'm going to go ahead and Lightning Bolt get rid of Beat Cop to do another damage. And then last action, I'm going to resign. Yeah, like I said, there's a chance that both Marie and Diana could draw back-to-back Ancient Evils, which means there'll be 3 in a row, which wouldn't surprise me. But the thing that also would happen is we're drawing one more card because of Haruko. So all I can really do is hope I can get this kill here with Marie. So Marie is going to go ahead and attack. We're going to go Promise of Power with Deny Existence. So that's going to make us 7-... Sorry, it's going to make us 6-4, and it has a Curse Token. So Curse Token or Auto Fail will be enough to make this go bad. We pass, that will take her out. Okay. Everyone but Haruka's been taken out. I don't remember which scenario brings Haruko. She's not too bad. She has only 4 health, but she does have 6 fight, which can be a problem. In any case, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to resign. So I'll go ahead and get rid of the Curse Token now. Everyone has resigned. We have all the clues. Oops, sorry. I misread that. Sorry, you're not supposed to flip over. Yeah, there's no advance here. It's just you end with nothing. Yeah, I wasn't trying to peek there. I thought I was going to advance. All right. If no resolution was reached and at least one investigator resigned, we do resolution 1. Okay. All right. We'll go. The brisk. We've already read this before. We've succeeded this before. So we already interviewed everyone. And we also slayed almost everyone. There's no victory because all of them are victory 0. But we get 2 clues. For every 2 clues, we get 1 experience point. and they have to be split evenly. We have 17 clues, so it's going to be 8, which will be divided in half for 4. So we get 4 here and 4 there. And then we do the interlude, which I'll go ahead and take care of right now. All right. So we're going to go ahead and things seem to have calmed down. Perhaps we have to decide. We either we can block the door and get the hell out of here. We can also kill everybody. We're going to go ahead and go. Things seem to have calmed down. Perhaps we should go back inside and investigate further. So reality shadow 1. The change in atmosphere has you curious. What if it was all a trick of your mind? What if the hauntings that follow the King in Yellow are but transitory? The answers to all of your questions might lie inside. Cautiously, you open the front door to the manor once again, reassuring jazz and the clamor of casual conversation grow louder as you step inside. The enticing smell of roasted pork wafts through the air. As you suspected, the signs of struggle and oddities you noticed before have vanished without explanation. Then, as you turn the corner into the dining room, you find the stranger speaking with another man, tall, mustached, wearing a fine black suit and holding a silver-handled cane. The stranger turns to you, his gaze drills through your mind, and your vision swims with agony. Before you realize it, you are running as fast as you can, toppling through the front doorway in a haze of pain and disorientation. Without time to catch your breath, you race to your vehicle and speed away, hands trembling upon the steering wheel. Why would you go back inside? You intruded on a secret meeting. Yeah, I've never done the doubt run. I think I started a doubt run, then I gave up because of the weakness that you get, and I had really bad stats set up for it. Anyway, remove all the cultists and replace them with elder things. Not sure how bad that's going to make things. And then we're going to be doing Echoes of the Past next. All right, so let's go ahead and expend our experience, so give me one moment. Okay, so this time around, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade both the remaining Beat Cop and remaining Survival Knife to their level 2 versions for 1 experience each, using the Down the Rabbit Hole. And then the last 2 experience I'm going to go ahead and put into Imbued Ink. So now Living Ink, it has 5 charges and is an arcane slot rather than a body slot. So if I have the spare actions, I can just throw out these inks onto my arcane slots, and they do stack. So hopefully they'll come together rather nicely. Because obviously the biggest issue with my build is, of course, the 3 fight that we're stuck with. Over here with Marie, I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 experience to get the last 3 points into Vibrancy. Originally, I was thinking about going get another skill where I can essentially get +1 to willpower, intelligence, and agility, which is kind of neat. But I think I'm gonna need I feel like I want to lean harder on the Archaic Glyphs Guiding Stones if I can. And to do that, I want to maximize as much book as possible. So Vibrancy, what it does is the stats that I'm already increase by an additional +1, but the rest of my stats will go down by 1. So my foot and my fist will go down by 1 each while I have these active, which is a bit rough, but it'll make it so I can get high rolls with the Archaic Glyphs much easier. So that's the plan there. So 2 points there, thanks to Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade one of my Fearlesses using Down the Rabbit Hole, so that'll cost 1 experience. So I've spent 3 so far. And then I'm going to use the Arcane Research to upgrade the remaining Rite of Seeking to level 2. So that is it on that end. So she does have 1 experience banked. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to zoom out like that. So yeah, she's going to have 1 experience banked, and I believe Diana also has 1 experience banked. She had 5 originally. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she has 1 banked. All right, and that is it. We got everything done here. And yeah, for that one, Marie's kit didn't actually do very much because it all revolves around actually investigating. But the parlays, she was still pretty good at the parlay part, so that's definitely no complaints there. In any case, we do get a second doubt, by the way. That was from the interlude there. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. We're on our way to doing the doubt run. We got one of the Chasing Strangers. We generally want to get a Chasing Stranger each scenario if we want to get that bonus. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I am the Depressed Dealer. This was Arkham Horror, the card game. We were doing Path of Carcosa. We just finished Last King. We'll be doing Echoes of the Past next. See ya.